everyone, in today's session we are going to focus on first level forces. So when introducing first level forces, like introducing anything else, you would recap on what the children already know. So to revisit early level, you may repeat some of the activities that you did there. For example, a forces walk. You might have the children in the classroom walk around and identify where the different forces are. What do you have to push? What do you have to pull? What do you have to twist? Just a gentle reminder of what they already know. Then moving on from that, the children at first level should be able to identify how forces are measured. So you'd be looking at Newton meters and explaining what these are.
So here we have two Newton balances again. This time I've chosen different Newton balances with different scales, and that will help numeracy and reading skills as well as whilst doing this science experiment. For ease, for differentiation, then Newton balances using the same scales could be used equally as well. What I want to do is I want to link the hooks of the Newton balances, and keeping the hooks steady, apply a force that is equal and opposite in direction. Now, reading off from the scales, you can see that I'm applying a pull force on the cream Newton balance of 2 newtons and a pull force on the blue Newton balance of 2 newtons. So these forces are equal, but they're opposite in direction. And what we can see is where the Newton balances are hooked, that we have no movement. It's stationary. So forces equal and opposite in direction are stationary. We've got stationary movement. If we increase the pull force, we can see that from the centre line those hooks are moving, and once we pull, but we're also equally having to pull with the cream to have a stationary movement. And here we've got 2.5 newtons working in opposite directions again, and we have stationary point at the hooks where they're interlinked.
So now that the children have looked at Newton meters, they've learned about balanced forces, they may use the Newton meters themselves to measure some forces. So they would attach the spring force meter to an object and then measure the force. They would have to do this in pairs or in groups so that one person is pulling and one person can see the number on that. So it could be as simple as a toy car, it could be any object at all, but it is good to have objects that are different sizes and different weights so that they can see that more force is needed for some than for others. At the first level, we would also be expecting and encouraging the children to understand more about what a fair test means when it comes to doing an experiment. So obviously only one thing should be changing, so we're always encouraging them to think about, if we are doing something, how can we make it fair? Why does it only have to be one thing that can change at a time? So in forces, one of the example experiments that I've got to show you is that you could have 2 ramps with a car and you're measuring the distance that it travels. So the ramps are exactly the same, the car is the same both times, but the thing that is different is the height of the ramp or the angle that the ramp sits at. The children should be able to explain why they believe that one car will go further than the other, and they should be able to use language such as because the angle is bigger rather than just higher and lower, and that they should be able to identify if they wanted to change something else. So for example, they might have 2 different cars, but the height of the ramp would be the same both times. So to be a fair test, it has to be only one thing that changes. The other thing that's also good is to encourage the children to make sure that they test things more than once. So if you're doing an experiment, to make it a fair test, to do that same experiment more than once makes it a more accurate result because you've tried it and you may be able to find an average from both your findings. Okay, so today we're going to do an experiment to calculate the distance that the car travels and which ramp will make the car travel furthest. So we've got 2 ramps that we've made from cardboard, are the exact same size, but there's something different about them. What is different?
This one's lower than this one.
So the height of them is different. Perfect, well done. What makes this experiment a fair test?
Because we're using the same car.
You're using the same car both times. Excellent, well done. Nathan, can you predict which one you think is going to make the car travel furthest?
I think this one's going to make the car travel the furthest.
Why?
Because it's higher than this one.
Okay, so you think the higher one. Emma, what do you think?
This one makes us a bigger angle.
Perfect, so you think the higher one as well because it's a bigger angle. Okay, let's test it out and see.
Magical Nathan.
Well done. Can you measure from the ramp to the car?
Nathan, can you hold it? Call me Magical Nathan then. Just to the back of the car.
Mm-hmm.
9.
What was the distance?
9 said to what?
Do you need me to help?
Yeah.
So here's 110 plus 9.
119 centimeters.
Perfect. Okay, take the car to Nathan. Back to the starting position. And we're both starting at the exact same place. Well done. Okay, can you measure from your ramp to the car?
Yes. Hold on. It is about 84 centimeters.
84 centimetres, well done. So we had 119 and 84. Was your prediction correct as to which one was going to travel furthest?
Yes.
Yep. Does anybody know the difference between the two distances? So 119 take away 84.
One of them's in the hundreds, and one of them's in.
You're right, one's in the hundreds and one's in the 80s, but you know the actual calculation of number between. So what is 119 take away 84?
I'm just gonna guess, is it 56?
No, so don't guess, think about it.
119 take away 84.
Nathan, can you tell me what 119 take away 4 is?
115.
Okay, so 115 take away 80.
35.
So the children could repeat the car experiment on a range of surfaces. It's a really good, gentle introduction to friction, and having the children think about why does it travel further on a smooth surface than on carpet, for example, and what other things could impact that. Could it be the surface on the ramp? Does it have to just be where it lands? And getting them to explore all these different ideas. Another good thing as well is to use the Newton meters again. You could have different shoes with different soles on them. So again, the shoes could be the same size, but the thing that's changing is the sole underneath. So you could have trainers, you could have walking boots, all with different grips on them, and measuring the force to pull them. Again, that's a really good gentle introduction to friction. And at the first level, it should just be a gentle introduction so that they're understanding fully the forces before moving on to the friction part. Okay, so we've got the same car, we've got the same ramp that we had on the kitchen floor, and now we're going to test the distance that it's going to travel on the carpet. Do you think, so can you predict, is it going to go further or less distance than on the kitchen floor?
Less distance.
Why?
Because this is a rougher surface.
Okay, let's test it out and see. Okay, do you want to measure?
$18 centimeters.
Perfect, well done. Was your prediction correct?
Yeah.
So I have saved some example resources that you are more than welcome to use under the first level folders, and there's some other videos and links in there as well that you're welcome to use, and also some of the STEM challenges that I have adapted from Emily Hunt's 15-minute STEM book also relate to first level forces, so I've saved them in there for you as well. Any questions at all, please just let me know. I'm more than happy to help, and I hope this is useful for you. Thank you.